Hello, and welcome to our first voice lesson with Monifa on YouTube. So it looks like our internet's a little spotty, having a little bit of lag, but I think it's feasible. I have with me today the wonderful Tracey McLow. I should have made sure I'm saying your name right. Did I
It's
get that right?
McLean Low. I just shortened the McLean to the Mc.
Oh, that's right. I was like, I feel like something's missing. It's like I saw more somewhere. But Tracy McLean Lowe, I see now that you shortened it. I see it. So yeah, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. How do I
Pleasure.
say that? So are you? Uh, I want people to know about you too. So I have tagged her channel on the title.
Oh,
And so I want you to go check her out. She also has some pretty cool stuff if she lets you see it. She has like some really cool clips and things of being in films. And so she's an actress, a singer, and she wants to do more of it, right?
well, I'm an actress
Anything
and
you
a
want to tell
model.
the
The
people about
singing is,
yourself?
well, I'm an actress
Okay.
and a model. I came back to it when I was sort of like in my 50s after doing it when I was a kid. And when I moved to Canada, I couldn't really find a job. So I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. So I went back into
Yeah.
acting and modeling, mostly acting as versus modeling. And yeah, and
Wow.
within acting, I love to sing. So I thought I should really hone this skill a little bit so I can use
Yeah.
it.
And it is a skill. It's not something we're born with, opposed to popular opinion. It's something we get to learn about ourselves, and whether
Yeah,
we had that chance to do it when we're growing up or whether we do it later in life, it's available. It's available to learn the
absolutely.
skill.
It absolutely is. And I'm big on sort of like rehoning stuff that I've done years and years ago. You know, even my driving skills, doing them again. It's the other side
That's
of the
brilliant.
road. I lived in England and South Africa. Wrong side of the road.
That's brilliant. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. I feel like, okay, there we go. We're updating. It just wanted to play with me for a second. So yeah, so I'm so glad you're here. So we decided that we're gonna do this voice lesson in public. As for everyone, I'm gonna ask anybody that decides to join me on this adventure that this is also for others, that we're trying to help everybody improve in the ways they want to improve. So anything that comes up for you, any questions, you feel free to ask them. And also that if you have any if you've had any kind of previous trauma, that you have boundaries around. So if there's anything that's coming up for you that you don't want to really discuss, or if you want to kind of maybe even, I'm a kid club handler because I am a very sensitive person. But if you need even more, just let me know. Just like and that's a great thing to say in the beginning too, like when you come in. But also right now, if you have anything you want to tell
Well,
me as
personally,
far as
I'm
what you would
good.
like to address and what you maybe want to stay away from.
I'm pretty good with most things. I can sing in tune. I do tend to go flat a little bit. I remember singing one song and I broke on the found. So I do tend to choke on some notes, even with the practice of the me beforehand. So that
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
you know, but other than that, I'm pretty okay. I sing in tune. I sing along with everything. And when I go out of tune
Yeah.
and I have a coughing attack.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I mean everybody, we all miss notes sometimes, and there's different reasons at different times, but mostly it's kind of how we are approaching the breath usually, is if we're having
Yeah,
more than one
I was
note, or if we're
actually
like kind of low on a whole phrase, especially.
the one thing I was going to do is I was going to stand up because I tend to find I breathe better and can sing better when I'm standing. So I'm hoping that I fit in the screen
That
here.
sounds like a great idea.
Is that okay? You can see me.
Fabulous,
You're not just looking at
fabulous.
my nostrils or anything like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Thank you. That's better. A lot
No,
better.
not at all. Not have such a cute nose. It doesn't happen that way at all. Yeah. So that's a great example. So anything that we need to allow ourselves to be comfortable, then we just state it, right? And
Yeah.
we make it available to ourselves so that we
Yeah.
aren't,
Just the
um,
loose
you
clothes.
know, making it harder than it has to be, essentially.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's another thing. Like you want to be comfortable.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
just a
God. We
little
could probably
baggy
do a
today.
whole thing on how to audition Tracy, but we're not doing that today. But
No, no, no. It's even the makeup. We didn't even bother. We just thought, no,
we're
no,
gonna
it's
breathe
just too hot
all
for
the
that
way
stuff.
out. Yeah. Well, we're here to have fun,
Absolutely.
not for the other
Absolutely.
stuff. We're here to have fun and to learn something new about ourselves and our
Absolutely.
voices today. You know? So we're going to start with my first step. So we're just going to breathe all the way out. And this means all the air available. And we're going to release that out through the body into the earth. Okay. So we're breathing all the way out, getting all the air available, going to through the perineum, through the earth, and then breathing back into the lower belly. And so I have a really long breath. So if it's any shorter than that, you go on your own timing, breathing all the way out. And
Yeah.
S's. And then we breathe back in from the earth. Yeah, and we did this 3 times before we even got on live today with Tracy. You want to tell them the difference between before and after you did this exercise before we got live, went live?
Just a little nervous, mostly about how I'm going to sound when this is recording. People are going to laugh. I'm going to have a whole Gal Gadot moment. But there you go. Other than that, we'll see. Did I freeze?
Yeah. And then when we did the breaths, how did it feel different? How did you feel different?
I felt a little calmer. But, I suppose with having now recently had to do so many of these self tape
Yeah.
auditions, I'm getting a little bit more
Yeah.
comfortable behind the
Yeah.
mic.
And that, yeah. But we always take a second to settle in. And I noticed that a lot of, great act performers, they have this kind of either they do it, in their dressing rooms behind set, or they do it before they go on, so to speak.
Mm,
Where they take a second, they take a beat to get into character, however they think of it. But there's this pause that happens, and this is mine. This is my pause, and it allows me to help my physiology, accessing the toning of the vagus nerve, so that we can allow that to help us in feeling more calm and more focused when we are moving into what's next, especially the unknown of like working with a teacher you've never been with before.
you seem very nice.
So we're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna, oh, thank you, thank you. We're gonna just breathe all the way out again. And S's. Breathing back into the lower belly. And I just want you to notice, do you feel your vocal cords? Do you feel any movement, any warmth in the body?
Well, I can feel it coming up, but my vocal cords aren't singing it. So I can't. I mean, if I'm supposed to feel
Yeah.
them, no, I can't feel them.
Yeah. So vocal cords have very little nerve access. So you're not going to feel them specifically. We're kind of feel around them. And then what I'm really looking for is the movement of warmth. Like kind of that's how it kind of happens for most
Okay.
people, is that there's
Well,
some kind of
that's.
warmth that starts to generate.
I felt a breeze. It was like feeling air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I felt up here.
Good. Good. Very
So
nice, very nice. So that's what we want. We want to just be able to be aware of what's going on. Okay. So we're breathing all the way out and S's. And then we're just going to do a sigh. We're going to do a ah behind M.
Did that sound okay? Do you want me to do it again?
Okay. It sounded great. I'm just noticing that the audio cut out a little bit. I'm wondering if it's doing that to me too. Let's see what the settings are looking like. Yeah, let me turn. But it should help. And I'm wondering if it will help for you too. Like, there's the audio settings. There's audio settings on the StreamYard. If you go to the bottom, it has your microphone, and it has settings.
Mhm.
So if
Mhm.
you go to the settings and you go to audio, what you'll want to do is turn off the echo cancellation and
Okay.
reduce mic background noise.
Ticket or not ticket?
Okay.
Rem-
So that way, because otherwise it thinks the voice continuing is an echo.
Okay.
So there is that.
Okay. Does that sound better?
Okay, so now it's actually echoing. So we'll see how it works. Well, let's do the ma again. Oh, weird. What's that doing?
Hello?
Did I click that?
I don't know.
I must have clicked it.
It's all
Ma, that's the
practice.
goal.
It's all practice.
Yeah.
Nothing's a failure. You're learning.
Well, this is what happens the first time you use anything for a new use, right? And so it's all
Absolutely.
good.
Especially
It's all good.
absolutely.
We're gonna just breathe all the way out, and do the ma again.
When I'm breathing out. Mm, oh. How's that?
Yeah, there we go. Now I can hear you. So that's so great. Yeah, it's really good. And this time we're gonna just do a sigh, and we're gonna see like how's the body responding today. We're not looking for the right sound as much as we're looking for breath and movement right now. So, whatever happens, happens. Wherever you land is fine.
Ah. Good. That work?
Yes, and then breathing back into the lower belly. And yeah, beautiful.
Ma.
And again, beautiful. And so as we
Ma.
release the breath, after we've made the sound, we're still thinking back through the earth. So when we finish the sound, we're still breathing outward. This is why a lot of us go flat at the end of our notes and at the end of phrases. It's because we didn't allow the breath to continue as
Ah.
consistently to, towards the end of the sound, right? So I know you
Okay.
brought that up a little earlier, so I just wanted to make sure we got to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So breathing all the way out, and then you want the breath to finish just as quickly and easily when we are finished with the sound. Breathing in for ma, sighing ma, releasing back to the earth. Beautiful. And you notice how the voice warmed up. And then we always check in afterwards. We don't want to be hyper analyzing while we're singing, because because our brains are very quick and active, and so every thought you're thinking is going to what the voice is creating. Right.
Okay.
And so what we don't want is this going right? Is it happening? Am I done? Am I on the parry pitch? And like, if that is happening, we hear that tentativeness in the voice, right? So we want to be thinking, this is the sound, this is my breath. This is the sound, this is my breath. That's a much more useful thought process than, you know, is it right? Okay.
Okay.
So breathing all the way out, breathing back into the lower belly, and then ma when you're ready.
Ma. Oops.
No
That squeaked
worries.
at the end.
Sigh, sigh, sigh it out. Sigh, sigh, sigh it out. So right now we are purposely sliding. Oh my gosh. Go tell all your teachers how bad I am. We're purposely sliding. Like, um on purpose. Like, this is on purpose. There is a reason, obviously. This is part of my method. Because in order for the body to be able to continuously slide, we need a new vowel. A new vowel is the clarity of sound. And when we get into that habit and stop thinking that the sound is all one thing, right? All the phrase is this one thing I have to get right, instead of this is something that is happening moment to moment, and I get a new chance at it moment to moment. Something I always have to say. From the brain to the vocal cords, 1/64th of a second is how fast that order goes. And most of the things that we do or use our voice for, that goes really quickly because our words have really short vowels because we speak so fast, right?
Yeah, we
We
do.
have to elongate that. Then the vowel's done, the vowel's done, and we're still hanging on to it. We need a new vowel, right? So I call it lots and lots of vowels because I'm so accurate. And so the sigh is going to remind us that we need to keep our mind on the right things. The sound that we want to make is the vowel. Okay? Ah
Okay.
behind M. Mm, ah. When you're ready.
Okay. See if I can repeat that. Ma. Ooh-wee.
I love it. So this happens all the
Oh
time. So if
God.
you ever get in a voice lesson and you're like, I literally lost my mind at the voice lesson, I don't know what happened. Well, especially in my voice lessons, what is happening is that we get so present that we actually lose things. Like, we lose parts of the past. We lose, oh, what was I doing again? What exercise am I we lose, and it happens, and then we wonder why it happens on stage. We think there's something wrong with it, us. But the reality is that the stage makes everything hyperly present, right?
Mm,
Um,
does.
and so if you don't know how your body reacts in that container environment, then you may not know what could happen on a stage, which is really where that fear, like stage fright, comes from, right?
Mm,
And then there's also the perfectionist artist that kicks in. But that's a different kind of scare. That's kind of like, I want to do the best possible and I hope I don't disappoint these amazing people in my audience, right? But this is coming from, what just happened? Where am I? Because sound is
what am I
actually
doing?
feeding back to your body and resetting you too, right? So when we go, like, we literally can get sidetracked. So
I'm
don't
just
worry about it.
wondering.
Just do it
I'm just
again.
I'm just wondering if I'm going because when just down and sighing into the earth, I'm putting my head down, which is obviously cramping my vocal cords here. Well,
Ah,
so I'm
it's a
just
good thing to
wondering
be
whether I
aware
should
of.
try singing up. You're saying breathe into the earth, but
Well,
maybe I
what
shouldn't be so
feels
literal with my head.
well, yeah, that's just a part of the newness of it. And so, yeah, just as soon as you're aware of it, see if there's something that feels better. And that's what we're looking for. Not am I doing it right? We're looking at will it feel better if I let my
Do it
head
another way.
relax up a little bit, right? And then we don't want to make it go up because that's just a different kind of tension. We just want to see what's the most comfortable place, right?
And then it quavers.
And let that belly drop. That's why we want the breath to move before anything else happens. The voice can't follow you if there's no room or space to follow you, right? So we got to make space with the belly. Ma.
Ooh, don't hold it so long either. I don't hold it at
Slide,
all.
slide, slide. Yeah, so that's the thing. When we're warming up, this happens all the time, folks. When we're warming up, we do not want to restrict the voice in any way, shape, or form. There's no such thing as a wrong note when you're warming up because the goal of warming up is to warm up, not sing the right note. Okay? So if there's something wrong with the note, that's not what's wrong. And what's wrong is that we're not warmed up. The body's not freely moving, the breath is not freely moving, the vowel is not like clear and consistent, right? Those are the things that make up sound, the breath and the vowel, right?
Here's a
And so
question.
if we're worried about the note when we haven't addressed the breath and the vowel and we haven't warmed up for those things to be accessible, then we're criticizing ourselves for the wrong things. And then we're creating sound out of the wrong things. And then we make life hard, and then we don't want to sing anymore because we're not any good at it, right? So we quit, right? And so that's not what's wrong. What's wrong is that we want to have the movement, right?
Mm.
Go ahead.
Does
Did you
mucus
have a
hinder?
question?
If Yeah, if does mucus, if you've got mucus, sorry, because I do have some. I'm sitting here drinking honey water, at the back of my throat. Does that stop things as well?
Yeah, it can if our breath isn't efficient enough, and that's why it's the first thing. I've when I was performing, I had really bad allergies, and so it was a constant problem. Phlegm was not a sometimes thing for me; it was an all the time thing for me, right?
Okay,
So is it a hindrance? Yeah, but when you have enough breath moving, then the efficiency of the breath is going to override everything. The efficiency of the vowel
okay.
will override everything.
So I need more efficient
Okay?
breath.
And so, even on our worst days, and it's just, and an efficient breath isn't to make it more. So, that's our habit again, is to make things happen. The body, the breath, the voice does not respond well to making, and life does not respond well to making. That's my whole premise of what I'm trying to help people with, right? Like whenever we're trying to create anything, if we're trying to make it, we're trying to force it, and then it's never the best outcome. It's not the best, possibility available is not happening in that circumstance. So we want to see we want to open to the point of what we are intending or perfection or the goal, right? We don't want to close to it. We want to open to it. Breath release is open release through the body into the earth. The more open we are, the faster and more efficient it is. We don't have to make it,
Okay,
right? Breathing in from the earth, we just have to release the body and it breathes in. That's the most efficient breath we could ever have. We don't need to make it any more efficient than that, right?
okay,
And the more we've released that tension with that breath and that full breath outward, the more availability we'll have to be open and the breath inward.
okay.
When you're ready.
More.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Breathing back into lower belly and again.
Ma. Okay.
And then as we release, we're breathing back in from the same place again. Did you freeze? Did you hear me? Did I freeze?
Hello?
There we go. I
Hello?
think one
Oh,
of
there we
us or
go.
both of us were frozen.
That it does.
Yeah.
I often find that when I'm
So we'll do it
taping
one
as
more
well.
time. I didn't hear you if you did it.
Ma.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just having like a little bit of backup today. So more. And then we release. We breathe into the same space that we make when.
Hello?
Yeah. Did it do it again? That's so annoying. All right. So what I was saying is that what did you hear what I my instructions first of all?
Yeah. I think so. I didn't. There was some I missed. You did go blank after I did the one, and then there was whirring.
Okay. Yeah, cuz I didn't hear it. So that's why I like keep pausing cuz I'm like, "Oh, I didn't hear it."
Do you want me to do it again?
So yeah, so that's the really that the goal of that. But you're doing yeah, do it one more time.
Ma.
Yeah. So my goal right there is to have you have an automatic breath in. This is going to really help when we move to the song, okay? So when you breathe all the way out and you breathe in for the sound, no, release to breath and then breathe in from the perineum.
Ma.
No. Again, one more time.
Ma.
Release and breathe into the same space. And what you'll notice is that the ends of the sound are always clearer if we are breathing out to breathe in.
Okay.
Okay? Um, so now, now, what I want to do is a little bit of movement so that I don't shock your system when we do the song. Um, and I have other exercises, but I want to have you. Actually, we're going to do a little bit more of that. So, what I want you to try is a poo. So, it's a characteristic sound. I'm not looking for your best singing poo sound. I'm looking for a characteristic, breathy, airy, hooty vowel sound. Poo! Okay? So, that's what it is. It's just airy. Okay? And
Oh.
so you don't the sound that we're going to intend. Again. Poo!
Poo.
Yeah. And you notice that
Poo.
that's a singing sound. How do we know? Because it's got vibrato in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what we want to do? Let's just do a quick poo. Poo like that.
Poo. Poo. Poo.
Yeah. You see how we get in our heads? We get so much in our heads. We're just gonna say, you heard it, you know it. Poo,
Boop.
right?
Ooh, sorry
And when
about
you
that.
do it, you're just gonna say, I'm you're fine. You're releasing. We're just releasing. Poo.
Poo. Poo.
Yeah. Again. Yeah, if you aim for it, you won't find it. Pooh.
Poo,
If you aim for it, you won't find it. Just release it.
poo,
There you go. Isn't that weird? The less you try,
poo.
the more the voice happens. The more we try to make, the less the voice happens. Okay, so now we're gonna just do some some bouncies. I call them bouncies. That's what I call them,
Okay.
and that's my word for it.
Oh,
What we're looking for is full movement of the belly, breath fully releasing continually out into the earth.
okay. Ha 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 ha
When
ha
you're
ha
ready.
ha ha. Oops. Ha ha.
Yeah. So all I'm sorry, I forgot my other direction is remember H is just an aspiration. We don't have to say H. We do want a vowel. We always want a vowel when
So
we're
you just
making
want the
intentional sounds, okay?
ah.
Yeah, the breath will do the rest. So you're still releasing all the breath available.
Ha 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 ha. Ooh. Gosh, I don't know where that went.
Yeah, and the more you repeat those vowels, the more what you intend will happen.
Ran out of
Okay?
honey water.
Oh no. That's okay.
Ha 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 ha.
Releasing all the breath available, breathing back into the same space from below through the perineum, okay? Again.
Sorry, I was mid breath there when you started with the piano. Um, sorry, can we do that again?
Yeah, that's what, yeah, on your own timing. Because, the internet's glitchy and all that, so.
Mine,
Good.
I'm
And
just going
so,
flat at the last note there. Bunk. I stop it.
yeah, so again, like we want to notice, but we don't want to judge it. We just want to, like, oh, okay, I noticed that happen, right? And Um, and then we remember, oh, did I release all the breath? Because if the breath wasn't moving, then I can't judge the note. Okay?
Well, yeah,
The
because I
note's
could
not
feel I
wrong. It's
was.
just my breath wasn't moving.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So that's just being aware of it, not, oh, I'm doing that thing again. There I go. Right? So let's do a different one.
I do have a short breath.
Okay, so that's okay. Well, and then any time that the breath doesn't go as long as we intend, it's a factor of how much are we releasing. Because if we're holding on to the breath, then it stagnates and it runs out, right? We want to make the breath last longer, so we hold on to it, right? When actually we have to release all the breath available, and then it'll continue to be efficient and we won't actually need as much, right? When you're going through, let it be short, let it be bouncy. Yeah. Full release. Good job. So we just want to notice. Yeah. and just want to notice. Like, so if you still feel like that last breath isn't giving you, enough for the last note, now we just want to notice, right? Because the body's going to do is it's going to adjust.
Okay.
Before the body adjusts, then we're double correcting, and then it's worse than when we started, or not what we wanted, right? Like, so we let the body adjust, and you'll feel it. The body's going to do a little warm thing. It's going to adjust, and then go. So when we hear the note, the body's already adjusting. We're just breathing into that.
Do you want me to do it
Yeah,
again?
again, whenever you're ready. Yeah. I'm gonna do one more. I make the weird noises to show you how it feels. There you go. And the more you allow it to be that free and that easy, the more your high notes will come back. Okay?
Okay. Practice on my
So we just want to access how much does the body want to move, right? How much does the body want to move? How does it want to respond when I intend for this to happen, right? And that's what we want to start getting more and more in touch with, so that it can look as easy as they make it look on TV, right? That's
Oh, we only wish.
so like, oh, you can be in presence. The more we allow our bodies to tell us where they are, the more
Mhm.
they're going to today with the phlegm that's going on, and with all the facts about you, right?
Mhm.
Because that was a very clear upper note, right?
Was it? I didn't even notice.
So we want to keep possibility available. Well, you can go back and check, right? That's one of the beauties of doing the video. So you can go back and check. But yeah, like, and that's the thing. We're missing out on our own beauty. We can't even notice because we're so in our heads about what isn't going right, right? And that,
That's
again, that's
true.
what we
Yeah,
do
that
in
I
marriage.
I
We're
so get
so busy
that.
about worrying about
Can
what's
I
not
do
going
this?
right that we're not enjoying all the beauty that we're giving, creating, being. We're like, we're awesome. And then we don't even know it because we're so worried about what we're not doing right, right? So that's something to remember. I'm hoping that a few gems were dropped in. What I want to
They
do
were.
is
Thank you.
like
Thank you.
let you have some fun and sing through the song if you want to do that, and ask me any
I'd love to give it
questions
a
if you want to
try.
do that.
I'd
Okay?
love to give it a try. I don't have any words up. I suppose I could just
Yay!
quickly
Let's
find the
do it.
lyrics
And
here.
do you want a first note?
Hang on a second. Let me just get the lyrics up. What am I doing again? Do re mi.
Yeah.
There we
Plans
go.
after plan. So yeah,
Okay.
so for anybody who wants to play with me and doing voice lessons on you, can message me on YouTube, on Facebook, um, on my Facebook page, Monifa Harris. All those links are available on the video site. And what was I saying? Oh, I was saying, if you want to do a specific song, what you'll want is to have the lyrics. We will do it a cappella, because if we run any music for almost everything, is because even karaoke has copyrights and all that, they would flag us. So that's the only thing you have to be required, is that you're okay to try and get it wrong if you get it wrong, get it right if you get it right. Experiment with me on this YouTube thing.
Well,
Okay.
I have the lyrics in front of me. So if you
You
want to give us
ready,
the note,
Tracey?
I'm ready when you are.
I'm sorry. Which note did you want me to start
It's
on?
it's let's start at the very
On E.
beginning. It's I think I'm an E. You might be able to tell differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, so, like, maybe just kind of do the first, couple measures, and then I'll feel it out.
Okay. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with Do, Re, Mi, Do, Re, Mi, Do, Re, Mi. Three. Oh, gosh, I lost it. There's extra words in here. Or I put extra words in. Can I start again?
Yeah, absolutely. That was just a
Okay.
trial, anyways.
Well, that was kind of
No
like where I was
worries.
going. What did it sound like?
And so it sounds like around here.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. When you read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with Do, Re, Mi, Do, Re, Mi. The first three notes just happen to be Do, Re, Mi, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Far, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pull and thread. La, a note to follow. So, tea, a drink with jam and bread. That will bring us back to dough. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, do. How was that?
That was so good. That's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
well,
how did it feel?
it's a
What did
nice bouncy song, and I love Julie Andrews, and I love it's the song
it
I've known
probably
most
cut
of my
out?
life, so I went with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely in the body. Whenever, if you heard the singer say that, I have to get it in my body first. That feeling is essentially that you know the song so well that you don't
Mm.
have to think about it, right?
Well, I
You
did
just
slightly
land
because I
certain
lost my
places in the
words. Yeah,
body.
usually I sing it off the top of my head,
In the
but I
beginning.
didn't want to forget
Well,
the
and that's
words,
what
and then what do
happens.
I
Like,
do?
so, yeah, I do that. That's why I don't. That's why I love sheet music, because like either I have to know it completely or I have to look at the
Mm.
sheet music. If I try to do both, then
It's
my brain
impossible.
glitches out. Like I get out of the rhythms. Everything is just it's I don't know. People do it better than I do. I know that. But like yeah, so that's what happens. It's like in the body already, and then the performance adds an element of energy, right? Because you can what I call performance is any time you have to do something where you can't do it again with this, you can't do it again. So even like if you're asking somebody to marry you for the first time, right? It's going to be the first time only once. The second
Mm.
time is going to bear upon what happened in the future past, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's kind of anything I call anything like that performance. And so there's an energy about that where we feel like, oh my god, I don't want to mess it up, right?
No,
That's usually the mindset. And so whenever we are moving into that state, the brain does things, the body does things. It's
it
depending on
does.
how sensitive we are, like really sensitive to energy, like we're picking up on energy of the audience, we're picking up on the energy of the people we're working with, we're picking up, right? Like there's all this stuff that happens, and then it may confuse us, right? And
Yeah,
so, how do
yeah.
we anchor back in? Is a question you want to find for yourself as a performer for anybody, right? But like, how do we recenter? How do I know that I'm present? I'm clear and I'm with myself and my intention, right? Like that of how the song is going to go, what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm so adamant on those breaths out in the beginning, because it's very easy to think that you know when you're in that energy, when you're in that performative energy, when you're in that high stress environment energy. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's very
saying?
different on
I know
stage.
you've had this
Totally different.
experience.
I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
panic attack. I mean, I did it when I was a teenager for a variety concert, and I did the Carpenters. I'm on top of the world, and they've got that part where I've
Okay, nice.
and I had a cold the day that we were doing it. So yeah, I broke on the found. I didn't run off stage though. I finished the song. I was taught very early in life, doesn't matter what mistakes you make, don't run off the stage, no matter what. And I didn't. So I
Oh,
gave myself kudos for that.
yeah.
But there you go. Are we finished our lesson now?
My first concert was a piano concert, and I forgot what I was playing,
Oh no.
which has happened to me, like on stage for singing too. Not during a performance, but like, you do like master classes, that kind of thing. And my brain would just completely blank, right? It would completely blank. And that the first time it happened was when I was in that piano recital, and I knew that song. I mean, obviously, when you're a kid, you just play it over and over again until you don't know how to not play it. Um,
Mm. I don't have the
and
fingers. I
I
gave it up.
realized, oh, I can't approach this the same way. The piano, yeah, like I I do, but I don't practice enough. And then and then and yeah, and then so when I translate that to voice, like there's so many things that you can break out on in the voice, that
Absolutely.
I did. I learned how to access that embodiment. In other words, that idea of I have to get it in my body. Well,
Mm.
I
And if you,
found where that is, right? And that's another reason why that breath out works so well, because it
but I
puts me
think it
into immediate
happens with
connection and
everything.
access to that part.
I think it happens with everything. That's the mindset. If you're
Yeah.
not prepared, when I was at the CMTC again this year earlier, I also did the film. Now I've done auditions loads of times and I never usually have a problem. But when you've got a crowd outside and they're buzzing in your head, I walked into this competition and I lost all the words because my head was still busy outside in the hallway with everyone else. And we were supposed to be having this argument, and there's this very nice, pretty young lady sitting in front of me. And I'm supposed to be arguing with somebody who's supposed to be a male. Like, I lost the words, I lost all cohesion, and I was having a little apoplectic, hysterical fit. I was, I just broke. I was laughing so much. Then a guy says, "Well, I'm a guy." I said, "No, you're just too pretty. I can't yell at you either."
Oh my,
And I had to walk out.
that's hilarious.
It was a total waste of competition for me.
Oh
But
no.
there you go.
But see, that's
And
my
I'm
point.
supposed to be
I feel
somebody who's
like,
done stuff.
yeah, that's what the practice allows, though, is that it gets it in the body, right?
Mm.
It's not, but I feel, I wish it would, I mean, and I wish it was enough, because I was very meticulous in my practice. I mean,
I think
like I
competition
said, I'm not a
scares a lot
perfectionist for
of
other
us.
people, but at least in the past, I've been for myself, right?
Mm.
Um, um, and yeah, it's a scary environment, but that's can meet what is unknown, what is scary, and and what our resources are,
Mm.
you know? And so in order for us to be able to do that, we have to know what that is for ourselves, right? And that's what presencing, that's the really what's happening in that breath outward, is that we're presencing, we're grounding, and we're accessing the energy that wants to come in and be available for whatever we want to do,
Mm.
right? So once you
Absolutely.
set that intention, that's the energy that comes in, right? And so once I learned that exercise, before I knew anything about energy, before I knew anything, and I didn't learn from anybody else. I taught it to principle that somebody taught me, and then it was just me trying to calm down before I went on stage. And
Mm.
it became this thing that I realized when I did that thing, then I was never pitchy on that first note, which is what happened. Most people are pitchy on the first note. They just are.
Okay.
And I wasn't pitchy on the first note. And it's just like people just they don't abide
Mm.
things like that in like opera. So that was not a way to make a career. In other words, in order for me to have a career, I would have to fix that. And this is how I fix
Mm.
that, right? Being that my level of accuracy, my level of efficiency, my level of sticking to the plan, like not even so much sticking to the plan, but what I intended, the beauty that I practiced creating, showing up on stage, and even being better than what I could have imagined because of the allowing of everything else that was there to support me in the room that I now could be available to because I was in a, a solid, secure place. It could
Mm.
find me,
Mm.
right? So that's my goal for everybody is that we can be in flow, we can be in interaction. We don't have to know lock things out in order for us to do our job, like because that's something else that I saw that we a lot of people have to do is that people are literally at auditions backstage like acting like they're crazy so people won't talk to them so they can maintain their boundaries so that they can be on when it's time to be on, right?
Yeah. Oh, that is that what
Like
they're
I
doing?
mean, I'm this is not a one-time occurrence. I promise you, this is like the common strategy. Either act like you're crazy or you have such a rigid way of how you're accessing that point of presence, essentially, that it looks like you're crazy because that's unique to you. However, you're getting there is unique to you, and so you're just like, why is that lady babbling in Yiddish? Like, like the weirdest things happen for how people find their zone, right?
They come in to
And
take you away. Ha
but it's the
ha.
same purpose. It's for the same purpose. Is to get
Mm.
to the place where all that work you did is available to you. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's what we want to do. We want to be able to access, and access what we have, and
Mm.
that's what we want to do is be able to create that space.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope
Well,
I
this
didn't break
was
anybody's ears.
fun. This was fun.
It was. It was fun.
Not at all. Not at all. You
Now, are you going to be
obviously know
doing?
what you're doing. My exercises are different, so they take time to learn too. So I'm hoping as we go, people like get more chances to hear how they go, so that
Mm,
they feel more like they know what's going to happen
I
when they
think.
come in. So I
I think.
appreciate you so much
I
for
think.
being first because
Well,
that
I thank you
is
for
a
having me
bold
first.
move.
Woohoo. It's all virginal. So yeah, I'm really chuffed. Thank you very much for
Yes.
this. I've had great fun. Um, I will send you a private note with regards to other things about possibly doing this again in the future.
Okay.
So, um,
Okay.
yeah. Are
Yeah.
we all finished now?
We're connected now, so
Yeah,
we'll keep talking. Yeah, we're all done
absolutely.
for today. I really appreciate you coming in. And what
Thank you for
I'm
having
hoping
me.
for is that, maybe, yeah, I'll be able to invite people back on. Uh, but there's just way more interest than I thought there'd be. That's what's happening right
Yeah,
now.
well,
There's
that's
just way
good
more
because
interest than I
hopefully
thought
you'll be
there'd
busy.
be. Um, yeah, yeah. So,
Where are you
as
getting
busy
all
as
your
I want to be.
interest from? Is it
That is
local
a
to
goal.
you or
Uh, So my personal profile actually is the one that kind of took off a couple and um yeah, it's it just became a lot. I had I think about 20 people respond on that one. And then there's like 4 or 5 on my professional profile, and then there's my group. I have a couple from the group.
Because I know
So,
quite a few people up here in Canada who
people,
might want to learn
we'll
online
see
too.
what
So
happens, okay? Because people, really? That's so cool. Well, now that I know that people are interested, I've made a form. And
cool.
the form, they would only have to like contact me same way you did. And
Hmm.
then I can send them the form and then they can be on the list, so to speak. And anybody that's on the list, like, is basically going to be the first people I contact if something happens, like somebody cancels, or if I'm doing anything, because I'm really working on building my YouTube channel, so I might do like marathons or something like that. So if I do like a
Hmm.
marathon, that I would contact the people that have said their interest, and so it'll get you kind of the first at bat, so to speak, um, if they filled out that form, right?
Okay.
So that when something's available, that they'll know about it.
Well, if I hope you don't mind,
Okay.
but I will hope to find this and see if I can get a clip for my
You
YouTube
have any?
channel, and I will put us up alongside
Okay.
my
No, I
drums.
don't mind at all. I don't mind at all. And
Cool.
yeah, and if you need me to send you anything because you're saying like the stream might not work on your end, so if you need me to send you anything, or so you can put it up on your channel, or
I will do this. If this is out live, I should be able to get a clip from it from YouTube and do what I have
yeah,
to do with it.
yeah,
But if I
yeah.
don't,
So
I'll
if you know how to
contact you
do
and
that, then
ask you
you're
if you could give me the
probably
full
stellar.
thing then. I'm still learning because it's all been new to me. I mean,
Well,
this
thank you
if it
so
wasn't
much,
for COVID, I wouldn't have even
Tracy.
bothered learning about it, and COVID has pushed a lot of us to learn new skills or go back to learning old skills and YouTube, I'm still getting so used to it. I'm a newbie still. I might have been on for 3 years, but I just know how to do the little bits, the basics. I'm still researching everything else. You've done this. I haven't. I haven't done a live stream. So you're very brave.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Well, I'm most worried about the vocal pedagogues coming after me, but
With about
but that's
what?
the um, you know, that's the
For
courage
the
it takes to
songs
be
that your people
visible, that are growing
well,
in our steps in that way.
yeah, there is that.
She's like,
But
forget
there
them.
is so much free music. There is so much free
But that
music
is
and free
always true.
tunes. And you're playing the piano and they're choosing a
Yeah.
song and singing a cappella, not a cappella, a cappella. So yeah, I don't think you'll have any problems. And most of them you're doing it for educational purposes. So there are certain flexibilities when you're doing it for educational purposes, and you're not selling the song. If you're selling the song and making the profit, that's when you have a problem.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm wondering if, YouTube will recognize that. We'll see. We'll
Oh,
see.
YouTube does. Yeah. I mean,
You
I've
know?
used clips and stuff from other
Um,
people, and as
and
long
I,
as you're not using all of it, you're fine.
okay, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need some
Okay, so
information on copyright laws,
we may
I
try
have
that in the
studied
future and see
copyright
what
laws,
happens.
so
But yeah, but I've even seen like, I don't know, they do it on Instagram too, because now they're doing it automatically. They're just like kind of silencing out portions. I saw that happen on Instagram. They just silence it when you start playing a song too long. Like they could give you
uh
like 20 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, if it's a modern
So
song and there's a
I don't know.
copyright issue on it, that's why I say use
We'll live
older
the
songs.
experience and find out.
If you use older songs, they're more free and you
Yeah,
don't have to worry about copyright
that's true.
issues. That's what I use. It's the only kind of way you can get
You're
away with
right.
most
You're
things.
right.
And this
Yeah.
one,
So I
that
think
song's
like you're
quite
right. Like a
old,
lot
so
of
I don't
Broadway
think
stuff
that
would
they'll
probably
throw
be
us off.
available. Yeah.
And if you put a big notice at the front of your stuff that this is
Yeah.
educational,
No.
this is a not-for-profit thing, you're fine. You should be anyway,
Oh, okay.
under the law as it currently stands. They might
Yeah.
change it. I don't know how, but
Interesting.
they might.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Thank you so
I feel
much. I'll
like
say
they have to
goodbye.
figure out a lot of that stuff. All right, Tracy. I will
Ta-ra,
talk to
ta-ra,
you
everybody.
later.
Talk to you
Yeah,
soon.
yeah. For the day, we'll
How
say
do we
goodbye
log
for
out, or do
now.
you just do you log me out?
Have a good rest of your day, everybody.
You too. Bye.
I'm just gonna end the podcast.
Okay.
Bye.